Hello, hello.
I hope your little summer travel went well.
Well, it's been a month, so I could say that, try to survive 41 degrees Celsius outside.
It happened here too in Pennsylvania. Although
So,
it ended with the storm, but it was around that much. I mean, I know it. I keep knowing the Fahrenheit because that's what our thermometers and we're set at. But I looked at it, it's like okay, in Fahrenheit it's 105 outside,
right.
and I
I
didn't do the
mean,
live streams because we were all of us were downstairs at the ground floor to conserve our air conditioning, not to strain it too much.
right. Well, like I said, the heat wave was insane. I mean, 41 degrees Celsius in Austria, that's something that you can never happen.
It
Oh
doesn't
my
happen that
God.
often in Pennsylvania either.
Well,
I mean, it was 3 days in a row. Normally, Philadelphia gets about a day, and
right.
it normally gets like in Fahrenheit it's 95, 96 or so. But it's a lot cooler now after the rain came. But the storm was just like everybody get inside because the wind and the lightning is dangerous.
It's dangerous. It is dangerous indeed. But what can you do?
Oh yeah, but that's how the worst of the heat ended. It just rained. Like you couldn't see through the rain.
You couldn't see through the rain either way. I mean, after when I landed home in the airport, I noticed that what the hell happened here? Why is the ground so wet? What's going on? I mean, oh, okay, so it did rain here until I got here. Well, at least, like I said, the at least the heat wave now has calmed down.
I'll be right back, but yeah, I'll get to the gaming news section real quick.
Right.
There, let's go. Yep, but I'll be right back. Let's check this out.
All right.
1 minute. What's going on? All right, I'll be getting that window up real soon.
Okay.
All right, let's see what it has. IGN is disappointing me right now.
Well,
Dark Ages is not new. Well, not new for news.
well, to be fair, the new Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced has launched today, and it's right now available on stores right now.
Oh, right.
My father already purchased the game, and he told me that in the box that he bought, it contains not just the cover art, but it also contains a map, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
like a big size map that you can see where do you want to go instead of like looking in the game. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure also in the game can help, but I'm not the one to judge about these kind of
No,
stuff.
that's cool. That's really nice to
And
have.
also it contains a little art book that shows a little bit of photos of how people drawn, how they did their stuff and everything like that, and also contains a new skin armor for the main character. I forgot what it was called. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. What contains in the game itself, because the rest, the DLC content, extra missions and stuff like that are already inside the CD.
Oh, good.
And of course, only
It is.
one CD.
Good.
It's only one CD. But right now, unfortunately, a major disappointment is coming from Sony right now, because Sony decided that they don't want to make any more CD games anymore to be put on sales. They want to sell the games digital from the PlayStation Store from now on, which
Wait,
is which is bullshit and disappointing.
why am I not seeing your picture here? That's weird. Anyways. Yeah.
Which is a major disappointment for people who are playing on the consoles on the PlayStation, because people already got used to buying CDs because it was much easier.
Yeah.
But
What's his name?
now
Young Yeah mentioned that. Or Young Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy, and I've showed you a couple of game cases where I could, I if there's a game I really want to replay over and over again, I get the disc for it, or I have the disc for it.
right, exactly. But for some reason now these guys decided to let go of it, to remove it from for good, like just which it's not a good idea at all. They should just leave. They should just leave it alone. Buy their put their stuff on the CD and put them on sales, because they gain a lot of money out of it. Because they already gain money for people who subscribe to the PS Plus.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I do. There is, I mean, it is a niche thing. And I'll admit I'm a modest person when it comes to the discs of video game discs that I have collected, or at least that I have
Mhm.
to say. But I don't know. I just feel that if there's a game I really, really like and I really want to replay, I will get a disc for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what anybody would do. But these guys, they just like want to pull the bomb right now, which is no, it's stupid. It's a stupid idea. And now people are threatening the Sony that you know what, we're gonna give up our subscription from now on, and we're not gonna buy them anymore. I mean, uh, dude, how stupid can you be? Because even if you give up on the subscription, do you really think Sony is gonna give up on the idea that they just want to do? No, they won't give up.
It got
I can
worse.
de- I can
You also
definitely
heard,
I can definitely guarantee that it will not work. It will be
you also
worse.
you also heard the news that Sony erased some of its digital downloads in games and movies they offered, right?
Yeah, I heard, but for the movies, to be fair, I don't give I don't give much of a thought, to be fair, because when it comes to movies, like I either watch them on the internet or on the
Disc, yeah.
on the disc on myself.
Yeah, they're actually having a 4K disc release for some movies now with the anniversaries. Terminator
Right.
2 is having the new 4K disc. Blade had the 4K disc come out. The first Blade movie had the 4K disc coming out last year. I hope Vampire Hunter D gets the 4K disc at some point because Bloodlust and the original have been around for a while. But I'll be happy when they have the 4K disc for that.
So yeah, this is going to be a major disappointment for Sony. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it would be. But on better news, we have Goldeneye and the whole road that they did to actually getting Goldeneye as a game. So it was both a revival in terms of film as well as video games in terms of James Bond as a thing. So the earliest one was it was a text. It was just lines of text. It was you. So you decide, okay, multiple choice, and you have lines of text you read on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the 80s ones. So they had View to a Kill as a PC game. Commodore 64. And there's the picture. You had to, there's the monitor you could buy for the Commodore 64, but there's just the Commodore 64 as you bought it as a PC. Let's just say there used to be many PCs that we don't see that many companies selling today.
Right.
I mean, Commodore 64, Nintendo had their Famicom PC, ColecoVision, Atari. So first one, Shaken But Not Stirred. It was released in the exclusive to Western European PC known as ZX Spectrum. So it wasn't available in North America where I am, just that PC. And it was just text. You making multiple choice and it reads to you what would happen if you made a certain decision as Bond. But I do feel like taking a look at some of these Commodore 64 games to show how far we've come since then. I won't be too long on it, though. All right. I'm just skipping the ads this time, so we don't have to torture ourselves with extra ads. So, all right. Here we go. This is Living Daylights from 87.
It's a bit loud. That was a bit too loud.
Yeah, it was a bit loud. It's very simple 8-bit sound. But that's just it. You use your keyboard, your arrow keys on the keyboard to point the little crosshair thing as Bond, and you press enter to shoot. That's it. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have really any music to it. The License to Kill from '89 has the music in it, but it's very simple. Just driving the car or flying the helicopter. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like these films from Timothy Dalton, though. I kind of liked Living Daylights a little bit more because it was just a whole mystery of finding out like who's the big bad behind all this, and But that's about it. There we go. But yeah, 80s was a Wild West time, as I like to call it, for PC games. Now, Dalton, he left because there was a huge delay with a lawsuit against MGM for who had the right to James Bond. So he left, but they released a Sega Genesis game, The Duel, with him in it, with his likeness in it, in 1992. But the intended one was for film was Property of a Lady. They made this was just the poster you see in the lower right was just it didn't end up being what got released. They have fan photoshops for license for Property of a Lady, which showing Anthony Hopkins, but the ones that were actually released didn't have the Anthony Hopkins image in it at all. But I do like the films with Timothy Dalton in it, mostly Living Daylights. But yeah, but that was pretty much it. That and License to Kill was a disappointment at the box office. Yeah, Chaos. A lot of the game companies that sell the consoles are making decisions I don't agree with right now.
Right.
I do like the convenience of some games being digital, like Steam, but if I really like a game and want to play it over and over, I get the disc.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with Steam is a different story because like mostly like all the computers like the desktop PCs or laptops do not have any more of them CD DVD readers, right? And
Right.
so that's why you have no choice if you want to play these old games that you usually play and you don't want to get any more nasty Trojan viruses. You have to buy these games on Steam.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Amazon does have a connectable disk drive for Blu-ray. I mean, at least Amazon does. I could buy and I could plug it into my computer, but otherwise you're pretty much right. But as for that, though, going back to here, it became Pierce Brosnan, as we know, with the movie Goldeneye in November 1995. I keep thinking 96, but it was near the end of 95. Now, one of the great things they did in this game for the making of Goldeneye is they literally took pictures of the sets they used in the film, which is why some of the actual maps in the game look a lot like what you saw in the movie. The crew at Rare actually went to some of the studio sets and took pictures of it and used it in the game. So, but now we're going to go to the actual big cream of the crop and going to take a look at Goldeneye, the game. I'll all right. Share.
Oh, storm outside. We're talking
Uh,
about the storms. Now it's on mine.
yeah, well, that's usually what happens after the heat. It's got to be
Yep.
got to be careful.
Yeah.
Here, got it. There we go. So this is how you start. Now the crazy part is that it does have the sidestepping. It just uses the Nintendo 64 controller in the original, which is why I do like the Switch version because the dual joystick configuration makes it easy to move with one hand, aim with the other. Gotta get up top of that tower and get the rifle from that.
And that's from the Nintendo 64.
Yep. And they re-released this for Xbox and again for Switch. So it was one of the best. No, go ahead.
And they also added as a PC mod game.
Yeah, they did. What? I keep thinking Goldeneye Reloaded, but that was the remake with Craig as Bonds.
Yeah. I think that one was Daniel Craig, and I think that one was on the.
I have the Wii
007 Legends or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, there was 007 Legends, and most of the fault for this is EA. All right.
Yeah.
Because EA just wanted to reskin it with Craig, but during the time of Pierce Brosnan, they had 4 all-new James Bond stories in video game form.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue Agent, Agent Under Fire, Nightfire, and Everything or Nothing.
Yeah. Oh. I can almost picture that this game would have been a great success if it was launched on the PlayStation 2 console.
Yeah, if they re-released it, sure. It's a popular one on the Switch store now, even though it's so many years since its release in '97.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because, like usual, Microsoft doesn't tell you what their Xbox sales really are. They're secretive about it. So it'd be nice to know, but Microsoft doesn't tell you how their Xbox release online is. So I don't know. But the Switch version, I've really enjoyed playing it on the Switch.
It was almost the same game mechanic or something like that. But the thing is, on the Switch version, you have different tactics. I mean, you can play with an actual Pro controller, and you have different movements. I mean, on the OG console, Nintendo 64, I saw one controller once, and they only had one analog, and I think that analog is for aiming, to aim your gun or something like that.
Actually, I have the Nintendo 64, and I can show it for this part of the stream real quick. I'll be right back. Show people how this was played originally.
Yeah.
Watch all FIFA World Cup matches on Fox 1. Now available with YouTube. Every player, every play, together in one place. So it's easy to watch, even when it's hard to watch. Find sports, shows, and movies on YouTube. Add over 45 streaming services in one app.
Here it is. So this is Nintendo 64 moving,
right,
sidestepping with the yellow C buttons, and you'd have to hold down. You have to hold down R. And use the thing to aim, just to be straight up aiming mode, like you're doing right here.
Yeah. So playing on the Nintendo 64 is challenging if you want to play a first-person shooting game like GoldenEye.
Yeah. Or Perfect Dark, one of those two.
Or one of those two. It doesn't matter which one. It's a challenging trying to play. Even Star Wars, I heard, because I saw one person playing Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. He was playing on the Nintendo 64. Even that's crazy to do the aiming and trying to do all the stuff that needs to be done.
Have you seen that? I'm not going to mention Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
No, I did not saw Turok Dinosaur, but yeah, I mean,
I mean, I had the PC.
basically, it's basically like almost all the games that were created first person shooting games that they were created for the Nintendo 64. It's a much challenging for you to play because of the aiming, because it's not like on PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 where you use only the right analog and you just simply aim. No, because on this one you only have one analog that's for aiming, but you must hold the button that you mentioned and then aim and then fire. It's it's like basically you need another set of fingers or hands or something.
Yeah, it's like I believe it was also Xbox, but a lot of what I played on Xbox, like Everything or Nothing or Halo, that had the two stick joysticks, but a lot of it was third person, not first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. Halo had the two joysticks. It also had two triggers. One
Right.
for the regular gun, the other one for the grenades. But the craziest part about GoldenEye here is that they crammed it all onto a Nintendo 64 cartridge, which at the height was only 52 megabytes. Quake didn't take up that little data, that little amount of storage. The other thing too is just the mini I guess you don't call it mini games, but it had the GoldenEye had the mini objectives plus tools like put a camera on something or put a you're putting I believe it's a modem or a transmitter in the computer room in this part of the mission.
Right.
Or get the laser out to cut the door. I'm going to skip ahead to the other parts of this because there are other cool parts. So this is where you do the bungee jump you saw at the opening of the movie.
Right.
Which I think was a pretty impressive way to start it. Just falling in the first person. You're supposed to face head down when you bungee jump. You don't see the cord. It looks like he just dove into the ground. Oh my. This is perhaps my favorite mission in the whole one. This and Train are perhaps my favorite missions in the game.
Really.
Yeah. How about you? You have this. You've played this one, right?
No, I didn't.
Well, I mean, it's on the Switch store, but I mean, there's ways to get it, I guess. But the cool part is this
There,
game has a little bit of auto aim when you're
there,
not.
there are other ways to get it, but like I said, I never touched this thing in my life.
Yeah, it's what Spies Never Die is based off of, though.
I
But
haven't
if
saw. I
no, go
haven't
ahead.
saw. There is a small video on YouTube where Jimmy Fallon plays against Pierce Brosnan this game.
The actor, yeah. Oh, I might
Yeah,
actually want to check that out.
you gotta see it. I mean, I think we should show the people. I mean, who won? Jimmy Fallon or Pierce Brosnan in this battle?
It's the game based off the movie he was in, so I'd hope Pierce won.
I'm not gonna spoil, so I'm gonna shut up. I'll let you watch it.
All right.
I'll let you and the audience watch it. Come on.
All right. Let's do it.
It was his dream. It was Jimmy Fallon's dream that he wanted to play this game against him, and
All right. I'll find it.
just type Jimmy Fallon 007. No, not 007. I mean, 007.
Jimmy Fallon and Pierce Brosnan plays Goldeneye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got it. We'll have it soon.
Oh, come on. They hugged.
Yeah, Pierce is a pretty nice guy.
Sorry to say, but Pierce Brosnan lost.
Well, I don't blame him. A lot of people who know how to play them are people like you or I or younger.
Yeah.
Yup, Kratos. That's what we were really disappointed about at the beginning. Sony, they pulled physical media, and they also pulled digital downloads in games and movies on their site. I mean, to be fair, I don't really get movies from Sony, but if I want to watch a movie, I'll play it as a DVD or a Blu-ray. Sorry. If I really want to replay something over and over again, like Lord of the Rings, those movies, I had them as discs because I really don't want to lose the digital like a lot of people lost a bunch of movies on their Sony account. Oh, I know exactly what turning into EA is. EA is the one that, well, the first one who did the DLCs that you can buy within a game was Bethesda with Oblivion, and of course EA did it a lot with many of their games. So yeah, I know exactly what the reference is, Kratos. It's just people don't value what physical possessions much, which is sad. Books, I have them. I have printed books if I want to read them over and over again. I have a movie on disc if I want to watch it over and over again. I have a game if I want to play it over and over again. I basically feel it this way. I feel the reason why they're doing digital is so you'd have to buy it from them over and over again and possibly pay for updates.
Yep.
So yeah, so like I said here in the presentation, it was first-person shooter was seen as mainly a PC thing, in part because that's where they generally were. There was the disaster of Doom on the SNES. I'm not going to bother showing that today. But yeah, Super Nintendo had Doom on it. The SNES version came in 1995, but the original Doom came on PC in 93. But it's bad enough. But GoldenEye was decent enough as a game with the music, the characters as a Nintendo 64 game that it was 3D first-person shooter. But yeah. So yeah, like we watched Pierce and Jimmy Fallon play split screen.
Yeah, that's how it was back then. It was split screen on top to bottom. It's the same thing how it was with Ancient Under Fire.
Oh, Halo too. The first Halo game, anyways. I don't know what Halo is now, but when you played Halo on the console in the same room, you had a split screen. But this is what kind of started this split screen.
Yeah, but now these modern days with Halo master collections and stuff like that, you play online and the screen is not split anymore.
Yeah, I mean, because it's you and someone else sees it, which was true with PC gaming. You connected with someone online, and you have what you saw on your monitor. They have what they saw on their monitor. But with consoles, for a while, if you're playing in the same room, you had a split screen on the same console. Of course, I guess apparently you could do up to 16 players with Halo by connecting 4 Xboxes to each other before they had Xbox Live. But yeah, this is up to 4 players, and this is almost the first FPS game to include the ability to get into a vehicle and drive it, having been beaten by a few months by Shadow Warrior from 3D Realms. So Shadow Warrior had a part where you could, in the demo version, it beat this game by a few months by having a demo version where you could drive a forklift and run people over with the forklift in Shadow Warrior.
Yep.
From the same makers same people as Duke Nukem 3D, but only you're a ninja dude now with throwing stars and a sword. And the other thing I really liked is that you earned cheats. So, like, for instance, I'll just show a chart for cheat code achievements in Goldeneye, because in PC games you normally type it in, right? But here in Goldeneye, you unlocked the ability to cheat by achieving a certain goal. So I'll show you the whole cheat. You unlocked them. So I'm going to share that right now, because that's the crazy part about it. You earn the cheating in this game.
Oh, God.
But some of them are pretty funny, like paintball mode, where you get splattered with different colors. So GoldenEye 007 features a number of unlockable cheats that make the game more fun, from paintball to speed mode, invisibility, and more. To unlock these cheats, you have to beat specific levels under a specific time limit or complete all the objectives. So here, you have to beat the mission Dam. To get paintball mode, you have to beat it as a secret agent under 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So secret agent isn't as extensive as 00 agent, but so you have less objectives. Like, you don't have to put the spy bug if it's secret agent. Now this one's much harder. You have to go all the way through the facility in 00 agent in only 2 minutes and 5 seconds. DK mode, big head.
Big head mode, not.
Let's watch it, because it's pretty funny. Goldeneye, all cheats. Oh my. All right, Grassloo, he does plenty of he does Goldeneye like crazy. That's his whole channel, pretty much. Come on. So you have big heads. Everyone's got big heads. It makes it easier to do a single shot, headshot. Don't get hit, because they can kill you with one shot if they get you like that. Now, another thing I forgot to mention is that there were copyright issues. So they used different firearm names than their actual in real life to avoid copyright. So
Yeah.
they said KF7, that's really a Kalashnikov. When they said Destravi, it really meant something else. And when they said claw, they really meant the Scorpion SMG. But all right. Actually, I'm gonna. So yeah, Goldeneye had a huge set of weapons, but it even went far enough to have a sound system. So if I was firing, say, the shotgun, I'd make a sound, and people would hear the sound of the weapon. If I threw a knife, that's quiet. In other words, but people like in missions such as Facility, people could hear the sound of you firing a gun, so they'd come to your location if they heard that. So this one's like ZMG is really supposed to be an Ingram. Or, for instance, KF7 is really supposed to be a Kalashnikov. As you can see with the way it's built, that's a Kalashnikov, but they called it something else for copyright reasons.
Right.
Or, where is it? Klob is really supposed to be a Scorpion SMG, but obviously they called it something else. What are the other goofy ones? Well, shotgun, it's really supposed to be based off a SPAS 12. So a SPAS 12 is a real shotgun that fires semi-automatic, unlike the regular pump action you'd think of. But it was obviously heavily legally restricted throughout its time on ever being sold. So very few copies of the SPAS 12 were actually sold. Or Kruger Magnum, it's really supposed to be a Smith & Wesson 629 44 Magnum. But yeah. So we're close to it. I don't know. Maybe one day we could actually well, I mean, I have the Switch version, but I'm going to get a collector's version of just Goldeneye as an N64 cartridge. That'll be something I actually waste my money for. Now, the funny part is, I'll show you this. I don't think that the remake with Daniel Craig was great, but this is an actual thing for the Wii that I have. You put the Wii mote in here. You put the B button to use the trigger right there, and that's how it works in the game. You use the Wii nunchuck to control your direction. So it's an interesting interface. I wish more games used it. But one of only 80 video games to be honored at the Smithsonian exhibit, Art of Video Games. So that's a museum in Washington, D.C., and they also have other campuses in Texas. But yeah, it's one of only 80 video games that got mentioned in the Art of Video Games exhibit, and that was in 2011. So more newer games didn't quite make the cut. In only 1997, it sold 2.1 million. And by 2001, by the end of Nintendo 64, it sold over 8 million worldwide. Released for Xbox, and you can play it on the Switch store, but I actually want the physical version of it. So a little preview of what's coming. Metal Gear Solid and Portrait of Ruin, the Nintendo DS Castlevania game. So that's what's coming up in later weeks. So thanks for stopping by, everyone. And having a little fun with Metal Gear Solid next time. Same channel. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.